Alright, let's have a little chat about that secret number that controls your adult life. You know the one. It's the magic number that a bank teller types into a computer before deciding if you're responsible enough to borrow money for a car that you'll immediately spill coffee in. Today, I'll be explaining how your credit score is calculated to you like you're 5 years old. And by the end of this, you'll finally understand this mysterious grade on your financial report card and why it's so important to not fail the class. So, what even is a credit score? Well, think of it like a grade. It's your grown-up report card that tells people who lend money, like banks, if you're good at borrowing things and giving them back. A really good grade, like an A+, means lenders will trust you. They'll want to be your friend. They'll offer you shiny things like loans with good terms, which is the adult version of getting extra dessert. A bad grade, like a big fat F, makes them very nervous. They'll think you're the kid who borrows crayons and returns them as a pile of waxy dust. They might not lend you money at all, or if they do, they make you pay extra for the privilege, which is like having to do extra chores just to get your allowance. This grade is a number, usually between 300 and 850. Now, 300 is the score of someone who sets money on fire for fun. 850 is the score of a financial wizard who has never, ever been late on anything. Your job is to get your number as high as you can. Now, the score itself is made from a secret recipe, like a famous soda or a fast food sauce. The people who make the scores, like FICO and VantageScore, don't tell us the exact formula, but they have told us the ingredients. There are 5 main ingredients in your credit score soup. Some ingredients are more important than others, and if your score is a big cake, then some parts are huge layers of cake, and others are just tiny sprinkles on top. Let's talk about the biggest, most important piece of the cake first. The most important ingredient, making up the biggest part of your score, is your payment history. This is about 35% of your entire grade, which is a pretty huge chunk. This one is super simple though, so simple that a 5-year-old can definitely understand it. Pay your bills on time. That's it. That's literally the whole rule. I mean, did you borrow money for your credit card? Well, pay it back when you say you would. Did you get a loan for your car? Make your payment on the day it's due. It's exactly like promising your friend you will give them their favorite toy back after nap time. If you give it back clean and unbroken, well, right when you said you would, your friend will keep letting you borrow their toys. They trust you. But if you're late, or you forget, or you give the toy back with its arm ripped off, your friend's gonna be pretty upset. I mean, they'll remember, and next time you ask to borrow something, they'll probably say no. Lenders are the exact same way. When you're more than 30 days late on a payment, it gets reported to the credit bureaus. Those are the official librarians who keep a record of everyone's borrowing habits. A late payment is a big, ugly red mark on your report. It stays there for 7 years. 7 years! That's longer than kindergarten and first grade put together. I mean, it's a very long time for a mistake to follow you around, and the later you are, the worse it gets. A payment that is 60 days late is worse than one that is 30 days late. A payment that is 90 days late is even worse, and things like bankruptcies or having your stuff taken away because you didn't pay are the absolute worst things you can have on your report. They're the financial equivalent of getting expelled. So, what's the lesson here? I'll say it again. Pay your bills on time. Every time. No exceptions. Set up automatic payments if you need to. Write it on your hand. Do whatever you have to do, because this is the biggest part of your grade, and you don't want to mess it up. The next biggest ingredient in your credit score cake is called your amounts owed, or more fancily, your credit utilization. This is the second most important factor, making up about 30% of your score. Now I know this one might sound a bit complicated, but it's not. It's basically about how much of your available credit you're using. Let's go back to a 5-year-old world. Imagine your credit card limit is a giant juice box. Let's say the juice box holds 100 sips of juice. That's your credit limit. Now, the grown-ups who gave you the juice box are watching you. If you drink just a little bit of juice, say 10 sips, they see that you're responsible. You're not too thirsty. You're saving some for later. But if you slurp down 90 sips of that juice right away, then the grown-ups get very nervous. They see you've almost got no juice left, and they think, wow, this kid is out of control. What if they need more juice later? Well, they've already used most of it all up. This is how your lenders see your credit card balance. If you have a credit card with a $1,000 limit and you have a balance of $900 on it, you're using nearly 90% of your available credit. Your juice box is almost empty, and this signals to lenders that you might be having money trouble. It makes you look risky, like you depend on credit cards to live, and people with the highest credit scores tend to use a very small amount of their available credit. The general rule is to keep your credit utilization below 30%. So, on that $1,000 limit card, you should try to never owe more than $300 at any given time. And to get an even better score, you want to keep it under 10%, which would be $100. The lower, the better. And this doesn't mean you shouldn't use your credit cards, it just means you should pay them down before your statement closes. Using credit is fine. Showing that you need to use it all the time, though, is not. So remember the rule. Don't drink all your juice. Leave plenty in the box to show you're in control. Now we get to the smaller but still important ingredients. The third one is the length of your credit history. This makes up about 15% of your score, and this is all about how long you've been playing the credit card game. Lenders like to see a long and healthy history. A long credit history is like having a best friend you've known since you were a baby. You have years and years of history together. I mean, you know everything about each other. But a short credit history is like a new friend you just met on the playground yesterday. You don't really know them yet. Are they nice? Do they share their snacks? It's a mystery. And lenders feel the same way. A person who has successfully managed credit accounts for 20 years is seen as much more reliable than someone who just got their first credit card 6 months ago. There's simply more data to prove they are good with money. And this is why one of the biggest mistakes people make is closing their oldest credit card. Maybe you got into college and it has a silly picture on it and you never use it anymore. Well, you might think, I should close this account. But don't do it. Closing that card is like taking a time machine and erasing your earliest credit memories. It can shorten the average age of your accounts, which makes your credit history look younger. And in the world of credit, older is better. It shows stability. It's like being the wise old grandpa of borrowing. So even if you don't use that old card, just keep it open. Maybe buy a pack of gum with it once every 6 months just to keep it active, and then pay it off right away. Keeping that account open keeps your history long, and that helps your score. And the fourth ingredient, making up about 10% of your score, is your credit mix. This one's pretty straightforward. Lenders like to see that you can handle different types of credit responsibly. It's like eating a balanced meal. Your parents don't want you to just eat candy all day. They want to see you eat your vegetables and your protein too. A balanced meal shows that you're healthy, and a balanced credit profile shows you're financially healthy. There are two main types of credit. The first is revolving credit, which is kind of like candy. This is all your credit cards. You can borrow money, pay it back, and then borrow it again over and over. The balance resolves, and the second type is installment credit, which is like your vegetables. These are loans where you borrow a fixed amount of money and pay it back in equal, predictable payments over a set period of time. Things like a car loan, a mortgage, or a student loan are all examples of installment loans. Having a mix of both types of credit on your report is good for your score. It shows that you can handle the responsibility of paying a regular fixed bill every month, and also manage the temptation of a credit card. Now, this is a small part of your score. So please, do not go out and get a car loan that you don't need just to add some credit mix to your report. That's a terrible idea. This part of your score will naturally build over time as you go through life and need different kinds of loans. It's just something to be aware of. It's the sprinkles on the cake, not the cake itself. And finally, the last ingredient is new credit. This also makes up about 10% of your score, and this part of your score looks at how often you're applying for new credit. Think about it like this. If you ask your parents for a new toy every single day, then they're going to get suspicious. Why do you need so many new toys all the time? Are you breaking them? Are you losing them? Or are you just greedy? They might start saying no. And lenders, they think the same way. If you apply for 5 new credit cards and a personal loan all in 1 month, they get pretty worried. They see it as a sign of desperation. It suggests that you might be in financial trouble and are trying to get access to cash quickly. And every time you formally apply for credit, it results in something called a hard inquiry on your credit report. A hard inquiry is an official note that says you asked to borrow money. 1 or 2 here and there is totally normal, especially if you're shopping for a mortgage or a car loan. But a whole bunch of hard inquiries in a short period of time can temporarily lower your score by a few points. It's a small red flag that tells lenders you're suddenly very hungry for credit. It's important to know that checking your own credit score does not hurt it. That's called a soft inquiry, and it's like looking in a mirror. You can do it as often as you want, but when you let a lender pull your credit to make a lending decision, that is a hard inquiry. So, the lesson is to only apply for credit when you actually need it. Don't just apply for cards to get a free t-shirt. It's not worth the ding to your score. So, let's review. Your credit score is just a report card for grown-ups that tells lenders if you're a good borrower. Pay your bills on time, because that's the biggest piece of your grade, and don't use up all of your available credit. Keep your juice box mostly full. Let your credit history get long and old like a fine cheese, and try to have a healthy mix of different kinds of credit over time, just like eating your vegetables. And don't ask for new credit every 5 minutes like a spoiled child asking for toys. You see? You get it now. It's not some secret code or dark art performed by bankers in a hidden dungeon. It's just a system that checks if you're good at borrowing and returning things, measured by 5 basic factors. It's all about showing that you're a responsible person who can be trusted with money. It's really just common sense, dressed up in a fancy 3-digit number. Now go, check your credit report card. I promise, you won't get sent to the principal's office.